Then the show started. I quit modeling when the show started.
But how did the show start?
I quit modeling. There was about a 3-month period where I had nothing to do, and I was getting scared because I was running low on money. I think I was 29 at the time. My dad was getting on my case. He's like, "What are you going to do with your life? You're 29 years old. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm just not happy with things." And I'm just like, I don't know. I was like, maybe I should go home. Maybe I should go back to Florida and be a firefighter. I can be a firefighter. That's a cool job. At least I get to be outside. I'll go to school.
You can have tats, you can eat, and you can smile.
And you can smile, and somewhat you can do a calendar. So it was kind of like a win-win for everything. I could still do the modeling a little bit on the side, do a fireman calendar.
You're with other hot people.
Other good-looking people.
Yeah.
Women like firefighters. It's a win-win.
Absolutely.
So I was like, all right,
ever.
this is a good run. I'm 29 years old. We traveled all over the world. We modeled. No ill will about it. I was dating Stassi at the time, and there was about a month period where
how did you meet Stassi?
I met her through Kristen.
Okay.
And
Kristen,
Tom.
you were friends. Oh, because
I was living in the apartment, and Kristen would come over with Stassi sometimes.
Okay.
And that's how we met.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so then, and then you all got jobs at the Vanderpump restaurants?
Well, the girls were working there already, and then Sir opened afterwards.
Right.
So Sir was afterwards, and they were looking for employees, and the girls were all working there. Sir was already around, and the girls were all there, but then Lisa took over half the partnership.
Okay.
So Sir's been around, but Lisa took half of it over. So then that's kind of where
and at this time, Real Houses of Beverly Hills is on.
Right. I think they were like in, I don't know, what season?
And were any of you guys watching it?
I mean, of course, I was watching it by default because Stassi loved it.
This is Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant.
Right,
oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Very cool, right? So I'm working
But nobody's thinking like, let's work at this restaurant of what this might become.
None of us wanted to be part of reality TV because we're all trying to be actors. And at that time, reality and acting were a no-no. Like if you did reality, good luck, you'll never be an actor. If you did an actor, you'll never be reality. It was just, they kept them very separate at that time.
Yeah.
So everybody was very like, I don't know if I want to do a reality show because if I do even one, it doesn't hit, I shoot myself in the foot. No one's ever going to accept me. No one's ever going to take me for acting. So the Toms were very reluctant in the beginning. Very, very reluctant. I signed right away. I was like, yes, I need money. Let's do it.
And the way I remember it from what I've told, like, because I've interviewed a couple people. So Lisa was big hit on Beverly Hills, and the production company or her decided, I've got all this drama right here.
Yeah, so she knew about it. And it was really all there. We were all friends for many years.
And all dating each other.
We were all, it was very incestual. Very
incestual. You were with Stassi.
I was with Stassi.
Tom and Kristen were together. Tom Sandoval and Kristen.
Right.
And then the other Tom and Katie were already together.
Right. And then Sheena was there. Sheena was there.
And Sheena was really the one for the springboard, like, because she had dated Brandy's ex.
Right.
Brandy was
that was our lead-in.
Beverly Hills. Right.
That was our lead-in. That was the very first episode they shot, where Brandy interviewed.
I want to go to the original. This is like the original cast, right?
Yeah. God, I was 29 there. I just turned 40.
Wow. Everyone looks great. Everyone looks great now, but you always are all so cute there too.
Wow, 10 years. That's a long time.
So they presented, and you're like, done. I don't care because I was about to be a firefighter.
So I was. This is a real true.
But let me ask you a question.
Story.
Had you ever really tried acting like the others had?
Oh yeah, and I did well.
So you taken acting classes?
Didn't take acting. I got under fives. I was getting speaking parts.
That means under five.
Under fives. That means I was. I went on a couple shows. I had some lines. I was on CSI a few times. I was on Dexter. I was on a couple shows.
That's pretty great.
And then I was also doing background work, like principal background. Yeah, just to kind of make some extra income. But I did a couple. Did some commercials. It was great, but it wasn't like. This is going to be... Because it was too, like, I needed something consistent, and it wasn't consistent enough.
So wait, I kind of interrupted you. You were just about to say, so what happened was, then they came to you guys, and they're like...
Well, I was working... I mean, back up a little bit. I was working at Sir for about a month and a half before I even knew about this show. So I guess Lisa came up to Stassi and says, listen, I have this idea for a show. Mm-hmm. What do you think? And then Stassi was like, yeah, okay. And then Lisa was like, oh, who is this guy you're dating? Are you dating somebody? She's like, well, this is Jax. He's been here for about a month. And our relationship was pretty much on the outs at this point. We were just getting by, Stassi and I.
And how
Didn't
long
like
had you
each
been
other
dating?
anymore.
How long had you been dating at that point?
I want to say 2 3/4 years, maybe.
Well, that's long.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty serious.
It ran its course, our relationship. We were just, barely getting by. It was embarrassing for me. I'm like, I was living in her apartment and I just felt bad. I couldn't contribute. I did as much as I could. I paid for groceries and this and that, but as a man, it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool for me. Some
Right.
guys can do that, live with women and get paid for it. I can't. I felt
Right.
disgusting. I was like, I don't feel like a man at all. So it sucked. So, I literally packed up my car, my truck. I had a truck. My dad gave me $1,000. I had no money in my bank at this point when I was about to leave. This is the 2 days before we signed this contract. I had zero money.
Oh my God.
Called my dad. I go, Dad, I'm coming home. He's like, you promise? I go, yeah. I need a favor though. I need $1,000 because I don't have enough money to get home. He's like, that's not a problem. I never in my life asked my dad for anything ever. I would rather be on the streets than ask my dad. They would give it to me in a heartbeat, but I have pride issues, and I just wanted.
This is the first time you asked.
This is the first time
Wow.
I've ever asked my dad for money. And I'm 29 at the time, and I was just so like defeated because my dad's probably kind of like, I told you so, now get your ass home kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. He wasn't. He's like, okay, I get it. I'll do it. I'm like, I'll pay you back. I promise. This and that. Then about a couple days later, we get propositions. So we do an interview for the show. They interview all the cast just to see if could be legit. I'm like, you know what? I've been promised so many things this year. I've been promised commercials, TV shows. Everyone's like, yeah, you're gonna get this, and then it falls through. That's just the name of the game in Hollywood. So this
Isn't
is
the worst being put on a veil?
Oh God! I used to yell at my agent. Stop fucking even telling me about a veil. Don't even tell me. Just tell me if I get it or not. You're like, you're on a veil, and then they released you. They released you.
And then you're waiting.
And people
for that
want to know
call.
why. Not just to jump over to this for a second. People want to know why everyone's fucked up in Hollywood. Imagine your life. Okay, 95, I would probably say 98% of the time you are rejected in Hollywood,
Yes.
okay? So imagine being a big fish in a small pond in Michigan, in Chicago, where I was doing really well. Then you come to a LA, and you're like, this is cake, right? And then you're rejected. And then you start to question yourself. Am I good enough? Am I not good enough? I can't. So imagine
One time I
going
asked
through
my
all
friend
that.
really quick, my sorority sister is a good friend of mine. She's like an executive. And she was always such a winner. And one day I asked her, I go, she's asking me about some job she had. And I go, have you ever gone out for a job that you didn't get? And she's like, no. Every single job that she applied for as an executive, except for USC Song Girl, was the only job. And I go, my whole life is not getting jobs.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy when you think about,
Yeah. I mean, I was very fortunate. The jobs that I did book were huge paying gigs. But I worked, but I didn't work as much as some of the other guys.
Yeah.
I had a different look than everybody else, and I was a tad bit shorter than most of the guys. I mean, that made a big difference. So, but I did book the big jobs. That's what kept me afloat for the 10 years. The commercials and stuff. So it kept me afloat.
Mm-hmm.
I was very smart with my money too. I didn't do the most glamorous jobs. I was always like in the Sports Authority, the Sunday weeklies and stuff. But those gigs, those crappy gigs, they weren't crappy, but
print gigs.
they paid the most. If you did Vogue, you didn't get paid anything.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They're like, well, he's in Vogue, he must have made a fortune. No, you were in Cosmo. No, you don't get paid for those. You get paid for like the Kohl's, the Target, those ones.
Yeah.
Being in the Vogue and all that is just an honor to be in.
Right.